Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with today the crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, and I do have quite a bit of things to talk about, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump into this video, I just want to ask if you guys could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. Also, if you guys do want to get my trading indicators, my exit plans, and stuff like that, go check out NCashOfficial.com. We have a 35% off sale right now on the bundle pack, which does include everything on the website as well as all feature content for free. So with that in mind, let's just jump in. So today we are seeing some volatile price action throughout the market again on Bitcoin, kind of hitting like 51K, still kind of rejecting off it and just ranging sideways. So there's not too much price movement on Bitcoin. We are still seeing the dominance factors around about 40%, which is fairly good to see. Some altcoins like XRP are turning green on the 24-hour span, up about 3.66%. And we have reclaimed the 85 centile range. As you guys do know, that's a fairly strong demand zone. Pretty much going all the way back to as far as April. So I'm very excited for that. In terms of the all-time chart, you guys could see that 85 centile range pretty much being a strong demand zone, especially going back to some major targets going even as far back as 2017 and 2018. So very excited for that level to actually be targeted and stuff. And we are seeing some altcoins kind of being, a little bit bullish on the 24-hour span, but overall I'm still fairly, neutral in terms of a bullish or bearish sentiment. I just want some clarification on Bitcoin and Ethereum real quick on some price action and some targets to be hit. Now, do not call me crazy, but I have expressed my overall idea on moon charts in the past. I suspect that they are fairly good for date ranges as well as in terms of, a bottom or topping point for a lot of things. Now, I will say this, Bitcoin, in my mind, has a little bit of time left on it for us to really have the bottom in. I suspect by around the 19th, we'll have the bottom phase in, and by around the 22nd, we should be back in a bullish sentiment. So we do have a little bit more ranging on left in store for us. Of course, I know you guys don't like me talking more so about moon patterns, but they do play a key role within this market, knowing when the bottom is fully in for Bitcoin or not. And if we were looking back here on this chart, and now this has come from Encrypt30. If you guys are in the Discord, you should know him. You should understand who he is. And in terms of the moon chart, you can pretty much see that we're ranging right now to have this bottom being in. We're not in a bullish sentiment just yet. And like I've said, we want to pump up above 53.5K. And as you guys do see, that's the major point that we want to be back in, because that is a demand zone. But until we are in that level, or that channel, if you want to call it that, we are still in, this bearish point, right? And we could go down as low as like 46K. We could even go lower. I've talked to you guys about the lower points being in at around the 40K mark. But in my opinion, I don't think that we go that low. If anything, we probably hold this bottom trend line, as you guys do see down here, which is around the 48.9K zone and 46.8K zone, somewhere in that range, which I suspect is going to be the official bottom for us. So we're waiting for us to really kind of get that little bit more momentum downside before we do get the upside potential. Now, of course, like I said, we will most likely be back in a bullish sentiment by the end of this month. So I'm focused on this month in general, just for us to really kind of start the bull run. Now, within this, we look back on some things and we really kind of look at what's happening behind closed doors as well for XRP in this, pretty much shadows of this market. So we do see here Goldman Sachs list Ripple, Coinbase, and Circle as the opportunity in payments accelerating use cases in the overview of digital assets and blockchain November 2021 report. And here you guys do see that. And of course, like I said, with payments, globalization of digitized payments and stuff like that, of course, Ripple is going to be named as one of the main names in the game. As we do see here, banks join RippleNet to process cross-border payments in real time with end-to-end tracking and certainty, available in 55 plus countries across 6 continents. Of course, Ripple is making a large name for themselves. And of course, you do see Coinbase and Circle listed here, for their overall, incredible things that they also provide. Now, like I said, the value within Ripple and RippleNet products is endless, especially if you are utilizing XRP as the currency bridge. I've always talked about this, I've always discussed this, and with what is on the rise right now throughout this entire market, I suspect that we are very close to pretty much mainstream adoption, and we are going to move very, very fast towards that. Now, we also see some other things happening with Ripple as well. First off, Ripple investor SBI and SIX announced a joint venture for Liquidity Hub. R3 and Ripple are expected to serve as the core technology. Now, this is fairly big because if we look back on SIX Digital Exchange, or SDX, SIX Digital Exchange SDX will be the first regulated market infrastructure in the world to offer a fully integrated end-to-end trading, settlement, and custody service for digital assets. The service will provide a safe environment to issue, trade, and custodize digital assets, as well as enable the tokenization of existing securities and non-bankable assets to make previously untradeable assets tradable. And of course, we do see here is the endeavor towards creating the world's largest global corridors. This is no joke. This is going to be absolutely huge, especially for XRP and even XDC. I could see, because we do see, R3 Corda was listed, and I could see this really kind of bleeding into the idea of trade finance for an example, XDC, because we've talked about XDC just yesterday in terms of a $19 trillion trade finance sort of market. I think that this is going to be huge, and I think that this is going to be absolutely massive for XRP. And I've always said that SBI is probably one of the greatest partnerships for Ripple that has ever come to fruition, because that has bled into pretty much major markets. It has pretty much bled into major partnerships for Ripple as well. It's crazy. Now, with everything that has been going on, I do go back to about, January 8th of this year, and we talk about issuing stablecoins on the XRP ledger. Now, I've talked about DLTs, and I've talked about private CBDCs. They'd want, a private CBDC network built within a ledger, sort of like the XRP ledger. We've talked about this. We've discussed this even with HBAR as well. And, CBDCs having those private ledger technologies, pretty much at their hands is going to provide them with immense value, as well as allow them to plug and play. And I suspect that this is happening right now. With a lot of things that have been happening, and with a lot of things that are on the rise with digitization and tokenization of, currency, as well as major valued assets like even real estate and stuff, I suspect that a lot of what we are seeing throughout the market has RippleNet and XRP written all over it. Now, we do see this going back to November 23rd. I reported on this. Republic of Palau, or Palau, partners with Ripple to develop digital currency strategy. Now, like I said, this is to create the world's first government-issued national stablecoin. Like I said, this was the major fire that started this. Now again, the first phase of the partnership will focus on a cross-border payment strategy and exploring options to create a national digital currency, providing the citizens of Palau with greater financial access, right? And of course, with cross-border payments, guess what they have to utilize, right? They have to utilize XRP. Now, with this, we also see here, this goes back to October 27th. Ripple launches cross-border payments platform in the MENA region. And again, when we're looking back in on this, this is for their on-demand liquidity payment service, which of course will have to utilize XRP. So this is going to grow rapidly, especially over time, but obviously with everything that is happening still, we do see a Ripple launches on-demand liquidity with SBI Remit to accelerate and grow cross-border payments from Japan. And like I said, this goes back to July of this year, and I did report on it at that point in time, and of course this is going to be utilizing XRP as well. And we do see RippleNet customers can leverage the digital asset XRP to eliminate pre-funding and reduce operational costs, unlocking capital, and fuel the expansion of their payments business. We see tremendous potential in leveraging blockchain technology to transform not only the way payment transactions are made, but in how we manage our business by unlocking trapped capital. This is going to be huge. And like I said, in terms of what is happening, like I said, with digital payments and digitization in general, Ripple is at the forefront for this. We even see here Ripple acquires a 40% stake in Asia's leading cross-border payment specialist, Tranglo. This is huge again. Tranglo has always priced itself on making cross-border transactions faster, cheaper, and more secure. By partnering closely with Ripple and introducing on-demand liquidity to new markets, we aim to further that ambition to provide accessible and equitable financial services to the masses. And of course, like I said, with on-demand liquidity and also line of credit, they have to utilize XRP. We've talked about this. We've discussed it. Now we do see here, This year alone, we've been seeing a lot of updates, especially with liquidity, but crypto liquidity is ready to eat cross-border payments lunch. We've talked about this, we've discussed it, and in terms of this market, okay? However, it's taken a few years for crypto to make a significant dent in this $130 trillion a year industry that incumbents, like money transfer companies and big banks have held a monopoly on. And again, like I've said, this is going to favor cross-border payments in terms of XRP. I think XRP is perfectly well positioned for this, and this is going to be a massive disruption. And when we're talking about $130 trillion just for this market alone, yeah, expect XRP to be at some high, price targets. Now, they are talking about, SWIFT payments that aren't settled until a few days later. They want to stop that. They want to streamline this. They want to make sure that payments are settled on a real-time base point. They want to make sure that the fees are much cheaper than, 5 to 10%, because in my mind, I suspect that we're going to see a ton of liquidity moving over XRP that are going to save a lot of these banks a ton of money, especially in terms of, we're talking about massive fees, like $30 to $100 per transaction for cross-border payments, especially in the B2B sector. But like I said, I think that XRP is well positioned for being the bridge currency for on-demand liquidity through RippleNet. And in terms of that, we are solving the liquidity crisis. And this is going to be massive, especially for XRP. So I suspect the growth on liquidity problems to really kind of have solutions to grow and grow and grow. And that demand is going to flow back to Ripple in my mind because they are well positioned. And we do see a report savings by banks using blockchain to grow 3,000%. That is crazy in terms of savings, okay? And like I said, this is all focused on those cross-border payments and the B2B sector. We do see here, Juniper says blockchain solutions like RippleNet and Visa B2B Connect already offer substantial payment efficiencies compared with legacy systems. The reluctance from payment stakeholders to change established business practices and shift away from legacy systems represents a significant barrier to wide-scale blockchain adoption. So, when I look back on things, and I'm really kind of looking at the cross-border sector and, these major payment sectors as well, I always look at XRP. In my mind, everybody hates on XRP and Ripple, but when we're talking about the crypto adoption, the mainstream blockchain adoption, crypto adoption, whatever you want to call it, right? I suspect a large percentage of that is going to be fueled by Ripple itself, because this is going to be some sort of disruption that's going to last forever. This is going to be the next revolution of digitized payments and digitized transactions in general. This is going to be a massive disruption to the financial markets and the new financial system. And like I said, Ripple is going to be at the forefront for this. We do see here, study finds only 10% institutions support cross-border B2B payments via crypto. And this is November of 2021. Give it 1 year, and I guarantee you that this percentage is going to rise at least by 5% or by 5x, right? Which 50% is going to be the new number here. Because first off, yeah, sure, we're only seeing 10%, but look at this. 81% of businesses with at least $1 billion in annual revenue use at least one cryptocurrency, compared with only 8% of those generating $10 million to $49 million in annual revenue. And I'm sure that they could raise this revenue if they did utilize a cryptocurrency asset for B2B cross-border payments, because it would provide them with such a massive saving on cross-border payments. But don't, take my word for it, because when we're looking back on things, 3,000% in terms of savings for blockchain technology in the cross-border scene. Okay? And like I said, I suspect that this number is going to grow astronomically. It's just the beginning. I truly do believe it is, because when we're talking about Ripple, right, crypto companies like Ripple and Stellar are also working towards facilitating these transactions, with the firms contributing to the emergence of cross-border payment corridors in Asia, Europe, and Africa. They're going to provide so much value for these major banks, institutions, SMEs as well. Like, these smaller companies that are generating $10 to $49 million in annual revenue. Yeah, it's not that much, but also it's the idea that, we're swallowing up these markets. We're swallowing up these financial institutions on a day-to-day basis. And we do look, back on financial institutions as well, going back just 2 days ago, 73% of financial institutions that offer cryptocurrency plan to add more. They see it, they understand it. And like I've said, with cross-border transactions, B2B payments, all that kind of stuff, it's such a massive market to disrupt, but it is so ripe for disruption. We even see here, right? Cryptocurrency, blockchain, and cross-border payments. A payments and circle collaboration based on extensive surveys of executives at 250 multinational businesses and 250 financial institutions, right? Now, they're talking more so about just 4% answered yes to having plans to give their customers the ability to use cryptocurrencies in the next 12 months, while 76% say maybe, and 20% state that they definitely will not. So 20% are probably going to be left behind. Honestly, in terms of crypto adoption and crypto acceptance, I think that it's going to be to the point where they need to adopt it, they need to accept it, or else they'll just get washed away. And when we're talking about crypto and we're talking about these financial institutions, they're going to have to accept crypto because it's going to be the idea of, all right, well, do we want to save a ton of money or do we not want to save a ton of money? Financial institutions understand the idea that if they're saving money, that's money in the bank, man. And I don't see that being a problem at all. We do see here cryptocurrencies, payments, debit cards, Visa's focus. Visa's focused on providing new cross-border payment solutions, issuing debit cards for young people, and collaborating with the cryptocurrency sector to boost its competitiveness. General Manager Michelle Yeo, I hope that I said that name right. I probably didn't. I probably butchered it, but it's all good. This is talking more so about B2B Connect. Now, in my mind, right, I suspect that a lot of these major companies like Visa and so are going to move into crypto. I believe that they're going to see a lot of crypto, pretty much disruption going on, especially in these B2B and payment sectors, and they're going to have to move in on it, especially when we're talking about Visa and MasterCard having the scalability problems that they do have, which in my mind is going to allow them to unlock a ton of revenue and value. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, essentially Visa and MasterCard, when they scale their payments, if they are utilized more and more, for an example, their network, right? They have to pay more money in fees for it to scale because it just costs more in terms of transactional fees. That's why they need to be building on a DLT technology, or, for an example, if they build something like the B2B Connect. Now, we do see here the value of cryptocurrency related transactions made with Visa cards surpassed $1 billion in the first half of this year. So we are seeing, a substantial growth within the crypto market. We do see, meanwhile, Visa has collaborated with more than 50 crypto wallets or trading platforms worldwide to allow people to buy cryptocurrencies with their Visa cards. So Visa is 100% crypto friendly. They are seeing how much it's growing and they want to accept it. So in my mind, crypto is set for adoption and growth year over year, honestly. And in terms of a lot of these financial institutions and these banks, like I've said, they are seeing it. They're understanding the savings. 3,330% by 2030. That's how much these banks are going to be saving utilizing a cross-border settlement. And which one are they going to utilize? In my mind, there's a clear winner within the scene, and that is Ripple. Okay, I don't need to tell you guys that. You could understand from these updates, right? 40% stake in Asia's leading cross-border payment specialist, Tranglo. Okay, why do you think that they are moving into these major areas, right? They are disrupting these markets at a massive rate. And the amount of value that is going to flow over RippleNet utilizing XRP, and for anybody who doesn't think that they're going to be utilizing XRP, all you have to do is look at on-demand liquidity and line of credit. Just so you guys know, okay, with anything that is cross-border, they need XRP. XRP is the bridge that allows all of this to work. And here you guys do see that pretty much being the main bridge. Now, of course, this is when there is two currencies that are, pretty much included. If there's no two currencies included, they don't need to utilize XRP. For an example, if I was in the US and I wanted to transact to somebody else's bank that is in China, I would have to utilize XRP for the bridge currency. And of course, line of credit is similar. Line of credit is going to be utilizing XRP. For example, your financial institution can use XRP to complete instant low-cost cross-border transfers or transactions in general. So in my mind, this is going to grow and grow and grow more, especially with ISO 222 adoption. Banks and financial institutions around the world are set for disruption. This is no joke. And like I said, this is a $130 trillion market. This is going to get very interesting, especially as we do move forward. And I'm very excited for it to really kind of move forward very fast as well, because we know 2022 is the year where it all begins. So with that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this video. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.